All right. I know you guys, your time is valuable. It's the first of the month. It's a very busy day. We always play these calls on Monday, so it may make it a little bit difficult for our attendance today. But for those of you that hopped on, we do appreciate it. My name is Adam Peterson with DCI, and again, I wanted to give a big thank you to John with Motorola, who is nice enough to hop on today. We are going to be discussing Boost Promoter Score, but we got news this morning that the Moto G Pure was going to be available to you guys this week. So John was polite enough to hop on to go over some of the specs of this awesome new device. With that, I will turn it over to the one and only John Hicks.
Hey, thanks, Adam. I appreciate you calling me this morning and inviting me to join. I'm glad it worked out. So, hope you guys are all having a great day. Again, my name is John Hicks. I work with Motorola. I'm our channel lead for Boost. And right here, I wanted to show you some of my counterparts across the country, too, because I know we've got people joining from all over. I'm over in that left area over there. There's a really old picture of me, but I covered this yellowish territory, and I've got my counterparts on here as well. So feel free to reach out to anyone that you need support from, from Motorola. We're more than happy to help out. Even if you're not in my territory, you're more than welcome to contact me, and I'll have a slide later on with my contact info a little bit larger if this is a little bit difficult to read. But yeah, I'd be more than happy to help you out and make sure to get you in touch with the right people. Hopefully you guys are all familiar with the Motorola brand. We've been around pretty much forever, over 90 years now. We literally invented the cell phone 10 years before I was born. So it's pretty cool. That being said, we know there's some other brands that are out there that have a little bit more market share than we do. And what we're trying to do right now is really get our brand in front of more eyes. And so we have partnered with lots of different sporting teams, different athletes, to be patch partners to get our name and our logo, on their jerseys. And if you are a basketball fan, you saw the champions, Milwaukee Bucks, last season. I mean, they won with our patch on their jersey. That's pretty sweet, right? So that's already paying off for us. And this is really seems to be working for us. We're working with, hockey, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, tennis, lots of different teams, and really getting that brand out there. The device I want to talk to you guys about today, as Adam said, was called Moto G Pure. The official Boost launch date for this phone is November 14th, so it's like 2 weeks away. But that being said, DCI is getting them this week. That means you guys will get them very soon here as well. And by all means, as soon as you guys get these phones, you don't have to wait till the 14th. Let's sell these things, right? This is a great new entry-level phone. Let me tell you the reason we made this device. So a lot of you guys are probably familiar with Moto G Play. That's a current entry-level phone at Boost. We've got it at other carriers too. It's a great device. It's using a good chipset from Qualcomm. You guys are probably all familiar with this global chipset shortage, right? That's affecting all of us. And the chip that's in that particular phone, Moto G Play, is one of the more tough ones to get right now. So we simply cannot make Moto G Plays fast enough. As soon as we make them, we send them to our carrier partners, and they sell them instantly, it seems. So we decided to make another entry-level phone that we knew we wouldn't have any major inventory issues with. So we went to a different chipset manufacturer, one that we've been working with for about 20 years, and they said, hey, we can provide you as many of this particular chip that you need to make that phone. So that's why we're making Moto G Pure. We've been making phones longer than anyone else. We've got great relationships with all the hardware OEMs that are out there. And we want to make sure that Boost and our other carrier partners have a great entry-level phone from Motorola. So let's get on to the phone here and talk a little bit about it. With this phone, we're talking about bringing content to life. You got a big, beautiful screen on here. It's a 6.5-inch, max vision HD plus display. It's got the 20:9 aspect ratio. So what's great about this is it fits more on the screen, so you can do less scrolling. So if you're one like me that likes to scroll through Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, you're going to be able to see more content on that screen at once. And we've got a great, screen to body ratio, not huge borders on this one. Great looking phone. The other thing that Motorola is sort of synonymous for is battery life, right? If you've used a Motorola phone before or sold our phones before, we've got great battery life, and this one is no different. So we've got a 4,000 milliamp hour battery on here. That's going to give you 2 days of power without having to charge. So imagine being able to go the whole weekend without having to charge at all. And that's a great way to pitch this phone. Say, hey, you want a phone where you can go the whole weekend, don't have to worry about charging? Take a look at Moto G Pure. I think your customers are going to love that. Now, when you do need a charge, because unfortunately it doesn't last forever, right? The phone does support 10-watt rapid charging. So you can charge it up very quickly when you do need to charge it. You don't need to leave it on that charger for hours and hours and hours, which is awesome. Let's talk about camera, right? This is a very important feature in any smartphone now. The smartphone is the world's most popular point-and-shoot camera now. So we've got dual camera system on the back and then a single camera on the front for the selfies. Gone are the days where you've just got one lens on the back of a phone, so even in our entry-level phone here, this is going to be an inexpensive phone. We've got 2 lenses on the back. We got our 13 megapixel main sensor, and then we've got a depth sensor on there, which we'll talk about some of the features that helps with in a couple slides. But that's helps with some of your creative shots, like your spot colors, or when you want to do portrait mode. So you've got a special lens just for that on here as well. So the main sensor is 13 megapixels. That's going to be great for, sharing on social media, even printing. If you're printing photos, 5x7, 4x6, they're going to look great, with a 13 megapixel camera. And again, that other sensor is going to be that depth sensor, and I'll go over some of the features that helps with. So everyone talks about portrait mode now, right? You guys are probably familiar with it. We've got it on all of our phones. Most of our competitors have it on their phones too. And that's the main thing that depth sensor helps with. When you turn on portrait mode, your subject, like the lady in this picture here, she's crisp, looks great, all in focus. Then the background is perfectly blurred, so she stands out and you can tell, hey, that's the subject of this photo. It looks fantastic. Now, most phones have a portrait mode. What a lot of them do, though, is they do it with software. They take the photo and then they digitally blur the background afterwards. And that works, but when you do it with hardware, by having 2 lenses there, it works a lot better. That's like saying, hey, the Kraft Blue Box stuff, that's mac and cheese, but the stuff that grandma makes on Thanksgiving, that's mac and cheese, right? There's a difference. They might call it the same thing, but there's definitely a difference. So having that depth sensor helps with all sorts of things, not just portrait mode, but spot color is another feature that we love at Motorola. We've been doing this one for a few years now. I love this because you can take really creative shots, really without being a professional photographer at all. And spot color lets you select one color. All you have to do is tap on it. And in our example here, you can see that it chose yellow. Now, everything that's yellow is going to stay as is. The rest of the photo goes to black and white. It really makes your photos pop, and it's really easy to choose that color. And again, that's because of that depth sensor that's on there that we can do this. So we've got a good camera up front too. We've got everyone takes selfies nowadays. So we've got a feature called beauty mode or face beauty. And what this is, it's a filter. It gets rid of wrinkles and blemishes in your skin. What I love about this is it makes me look younger. I've got that problem where I look older than I am. Everyone always thinks I'm 10 years older than I am. This helps with that a little bit, right? It's not perfect, but it definitely helps. It makes me look younger in my photos. And the thing that I really like about it too is that you can control the strength of the face beauty. So if you just want it a little bit, you can select just a little bit. If you want to go full-blown cartoonish Michael Jackson looking, you can do that too. Or you can just keep it on auto. And I think the auto works great. That's what I keep mine on. The AI built into the phone chooses what it thinks is going to look best. And I think it works really, really well. So if I've got any, skin blemishes or wrinkles, it gets rid of them really easily for me. It's really cool for when you're taking your selfies. All right. I want to talk about Google for a second. That might sound funny, but Google is a great partner of ours. And I want to let you know we use Android on every single phone that we sell, that we use it on every phone that Motorola makes. And We use Android operating system because we feel it's the best operating system out there. Google makes a great OS, and they include a lot of great apps with it, like Google Maps, Google Drive, Google Photos, and of course, you guys are familiar with Google Assistant. And so what we don't do is try to duplicate any of that. We get that included with Android, right? So we don't need to go make our own Google Drive sort of thing, like our own backup and storage. We don't have our own gallery app like some of the other OEMs do, or our own digital assistant. Google does a great job with this stuff, so we're not going to bog down the phone, duplicating the things that they are already doing. These apps are fantastic. So these come with all of our phones now. So I mentioned earlier that we're using a different chipset for this phone than we were with some of our previous phones, like the Moto G Play. We still got a great octa-core processor in here. So no matter what you're doing with your phone, if you're streaming videos or you're navigating between a whole bunch of apps, you're multitasking, you're going to have the horsepower that you need to be able to handle that no problem. Let's talk about some features for living. These are some of the, I call them like the bonus features that come in the phone that people don't necessarily ask about, but are great to have. Like a water repellent nano coating. This is awesome. So all of our phones, not just Moto G Pure, have this. So we bake on this water repellent in the factory. It covers the entire exterior of the phone, also covers the internal circuit boards too. And it makes water just sort of beat up and roll off. If you've ever used Rain-X on the windshield of your car, it's very, very similar, but this is a permanent deal. You never need to reapply it like you do the Rain-X, but water just beads up and rolls off. So this is meant to resist splashes and spills, or if you get caught out in the rain when you're on your phone, you can stand out there for 20 minutes in the rain and your phone's going to be fine. It's going to get a little bit wet, but just shake it off, wipe it off on your t-shirt, whatever you got to do, and the phone's going to be good. Now, this is not made to be submersible, so you don't want to go swimming or scuba diving with the phone. It's not made for that. But for splashes, spills, someone spills their water or their coffee on the phone, a kid does a cannonball into the pool and splashes everything, the phone's going to be okay. No need to freak out. The other thing that everyone loves now too is having fingerprint reader right on the phone. There's lots of different ways you can unlock your phone. We all know there's PIN, password, pattern, fingerprint reader, face unlock. Fingerprint reader seems to be very secure, very fast, very efficient. Everybody loves it. So the Motorola logo, the M logo on the back of the phone, that is the fingerprint reader. We've got that on this phone too. So I'll take a minute to talk about my UX. This just allows you to make the phone yours. This is going to be a very popular phone. We talk about, you guys will have it in stores very, very quickly here. Other carriers are selling this too. So it's going to be sold to a lot of people across the country and really across the world. And so that means there's a lot of them out there. And your phone is a really intimate part of your life, as silly as that sounds. So we want you to be able to make that phone yours. So you can choose menu colors. You can see in the example here, they've got this like teal color. I like that orange one, so that's how I've got my phone set up. So you can change that. You can change the font. You can change the font size. You can even change the shape of the icons. Here, they're the traditional circles. If you want them ovals or if you want them squares, or, you can make them all sorts of different shapes and really make that phone yours. Give it your style, give it your personality. So again, we wanted to pick a cool color for this phone. So they picked what they are calling deep indigo, which to me means it's a purplish blue. It looks really cool. But it's a nice textured metallic finish as well. So it's a little bit different than most of the other phones we've got out. A lot of the other phones that we have are really glossy on the back, and they're glass-like. This is a little bit different. When I actually like it because it really resists fingerprints. When you pick this up and hold it and put it back down, you don't see fingerprints on it. So we got a really cool color and a design that stands out because it's different from all the other phones in our lineup that are out right now, and it resists fingerprints. I love that. Now, if your customers don't like the deep indigo color, you know what you do, right? You sell them a case, right? So you can cover up that color if they don't like it for whatever reason, right? But I do think it looks really cool. It should stand out in the lineup, and hopefully you guys and your customers will like this color too. So we'll do a quick recap of Moto G Pure here. Remember, we've got a dual camera system on the back, that big 6.5-inch max vision display. We've got 2 days of battery life. We've got that octa-core processor that we talked about. I don't think we mentioned it. We do have 32 gigs of storage in here and 3 gigs of RAM. We got a fingerprint reader and that water repellent design, so you don't have to worry about splashes and spills. Great entry-level phone. It's got the features for everyday living that people are looking for. These are all the tech specs on here. I am not going to read all that to you because that would be boring. If anyone wants a copy of this slide or of this whole deck, feel free to text or email me after the call, and I'll be more than happy to send it to you. And then I just wanted to remind you guys, we've got a lot of other phones in the Boost lineup too. You know, Motorola's got a huge footprint at Boost this year, and that's not going to change going into next year. I've seen some of the other phones that are coming soon, and they are fantastic. Boost is going to have a lot of Motorola devices for the next 12 months at least, so we're very excited about that. So Moto G Play is similar to the Moto G Pure that we were just talking about. You can sort of think of Moto G Pure as a replacement. If you still got Plays, you know, in your stores, that's a great device too. By all means, let's sell that and get them into a customer's hands. You know, a good step up from our entry level is Moto G Power. We've been seeing this do really well. There's been some aggressive promos, as you guys know. And then Moto G Stylus, again, another step up from the Moto G Power. Not only do you get the stylus, but you have some other higher end specs on there too. And Moto G Stylus, if you guys didn't know, is actually Motorola's top selling phone at Boost ever. Not just this year. That's the top selling phone we've ever had at Boost. So thank you. Whatever you guys are doing to sell that phone, please keep it up. It's working, you know, so great phone there. And of course, we got Moto G Stylus 5G, which is our top of the line at Boost right now. So you're getting the stylus, you're getting 5G, you're getting great specs in there. So we've got a Moto G device, you know, for just about anyone. If someone's coming in and say, hey, I'm looking for the cheapest phone you got. You know, we've all seen those customers, right? Well, you know what? Motorola doesn't make any cheap phones, but we do make some inexpensive phones. And, you know, Moto G Pure is one of those inexpensive phones. Hey, you know what? I've got this phone over here. It's not cheap, but it's inexpensive. You might like it. Let me tell you about Moto G Pure. So, or of course, you can, you know, talk them up to one of the other great phones that we've got too. Last thing I wanted to mention today is something called Moto Insiders. Hopefully some of you guys are familiar with this already. If you're not, this is where you can get additional education from Motorola and also free stuff. Everybody loves free stuff, right? So if you want a cool like Motorola water bottle like this one I've got here, or if you want coffee mugs, or if you want phones or t-shirts, I mean, this is where you go. Everything you do on here gives you points. You learn, you get points, you can turn in the points for free stuff. The other thing that a lot of people don't participate in is you can report your Motorola sales on here. That's a big deal. I know you guys are selling our stuff, right? I just told you Moto G Stylus is our top selling phone ever at Boost. You're selling them. So what you can do is go on Moto Insiders, report that sale, get points, get yourself some free stuff. But make sure if you're not registered already, when you do, use the referral code that's on the screen here. It's JD9BG. When you use that referral code and take your first training, you're going to get 300 bonus points just for signing up and using that referral code. And that referral code also makes it so you don't have to verify your employment. It verifies it automatically for you as working for a Boost dealer. Now, part of Moto Insiders, we've got a new training feature called Moto Agent Live. Moto Agent is what we call our top trainers, and these guys are now, we've got some that are virtual. So if you want to learn about one of our phones, maybe you forgot something that I said, you didn't write it down, that's all right. You can log in through Insiders, and there's a Moto Agent Live button, and it'll directly connect you in a video call with one of our top trainers that has all of our phones laying right on the desk there, and they can show you how to do anything. It is a really cool feature. We've only got this at a couple carriers right now, and it's relatively new to Boost, so I want to make sure that you guys knew about this. And now, Moto Agent Live isn't customer service. It's more of a sales tool. You know, that's what it's designed for. But you guys can, you know, connect whenever you want to learn about our products or answer customer questions. It's a great service that's out there. That's all I've got for you. Again, my name is John Hicks. I'm our Boost channel lead at Motorola. I've got my contact information on the screen right there. That's my cell phone number and my email. Email is super easy. It's just my last name, Hicks@Motorola.com. Feel free to call or email me or text me with anything I can do to support you guys. My job is to help you guys be successful. Don't think you're bugging me at all. And if we got a minute, I'm happy to answer any questions now if we've got time, Adam.
I gotta keep it moving, John.
Okay, that's fine.
No. If you got a question, is there a question in the audience? Please go ahead. If you got a question for John, go ahead, guys. Now's your time.
All right, I'll hand it back over to you, Adam. If you guys need anything, just give me a call. I'm here.
John, you're the man. Thank you so much for hopping on. This is kind of a surprise guest. I know we're looking at Promoter score, but couldn't pass this opportunity up to get awesome knowledge from John on this fantastic new device. John, can you email me this deck too, just so I can kind of go over it more in depth as well? Awesome stuff. Thank you as always. And jumping on at short notice like this, I truly appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Okay, so you guys, it's already linked on the family plan, so you're all set, all right?
Okay, it wasn't a question. If someone wasn't on mute, I'll mute them. All right, let me share my screen here. And let me know when you guys can see it.
We've got your screen.
Perfect. All right, so thanks again to Jonathan Hicks. If you guys need his information, I do have it up here on that Moto G Pure. I know we had some people hop on late, so I'll get a copy of this deck of that G Pure. If you need it, reach out to your DCI account manager, and I will forward it over to them as well. So again, thank you, Jonathan. Now let's hop into Boost Promoter Score, what it is and why does it matter for your specific locations. So this is something that they've done on the corporate side for years, right? And Boost is starting to use this now as well. And what it's doing is measuring the customer interaction at your stores from a scale of 0 to 10. And you can kind of see the numbers by market where everyone's at right now. Overall, Chicago's sitting at a 68, so let's say 6.8 out of 10. Cincinnati at 5.4. Columbus crushing it, all 10s, 100 on the promoter score. And so on and so on. East Michigan at 71. I know we always have East Michigan people on this call as well. Fort Wayne, South Bend, 91. Kansas, 91. LA Metro, 83. Toledo, 70. West Kentucky, 100 as well. Fantastic job. And DFW, not sure where that is, but 80. But I wasn't sure of who DFW is. So they've changed.
Dallas-Fort Worth.
Dallas-Fort Worth. Oh, shout out to our homies in Dallas-Fort Worth. I do have a Texas door, so maybe that's them. Great job. So one of the Boost Promoter Score questions has recently changed. It used to be, how likely are you to recommend Boost to your friends and family? Now it's based on your last store visit. How likely are you to recommend that store? So it's all about the experience customers are getting in your location. The goal for you guys is to get a 9 or 10. Now, if you're 7 or 8 is kind of a neutral customer, 6 and below is a detractor, but really want you guys to get those 9s and 10s and ask for them. And let me tell you the whys behind it and then some best practices. So the Boost Promoter Score is going to give you guys direct feedback from your customers about their interaction with your sales team. So I talked about those 9 and 10s, right? So those are going to be your promoters. They're people who are going to give you, if they give you a 9 or 10, they're deemed more likely to exhibit behaviors that are going to generate value, like buying more, returning to the brand over a long period, and referring more people. They have a much higher lifetime value. So when we're talking about 3rd month engagement, 6th month engagement, and beyond, those people who give you 9s or 10s, those are your people that are going to stay with you the longest. So if you create that experience in your door, and you talked about this survey and say, is there any reason why you couldn't give me a 9 or 10 based on the service I gave you here today, and you get their commitment, you can drive that number up. The 7 or 8s, those are your passive customers, right? They're considered to be moderately satisfied. So you did an okay job. They might remain loyal to the brand, but they also have the potential to switch allegiance to a competitor. So again, when we think about our 3rd month engagement and beyond, if you're getting a 7 or 8, like, meh, it was okay. It was fine. Nothing great. It was fine. But if there's a better deal coming down the street, they could very easily switch to that deal down the street. Now, your detractors are anyone 0 to 6. They're usually dissatisfied with the experience they have in your store. They have the potential to damage your brand and reputation through negative reviews. They put it on social media, word of mouth, bad mouth in your store. You know, those are customers you absolutely do not want to have and we need to get rid of. So I want to give you some real life examples. So we have these scores. Your DCI account manager is getting these scores now weekly. So if you ever have questions on your specific location, reach out to your DCI account manager and we can share these with you. I like to cover them in PBR reviews, but if you're not having a PBR, you can cover it in your BR reviews as well, or just a store visit, ask us to pull them up and we can give you the information. But let me just show you kind of the proof that's in the pudding, right? So let's look at some examples. These are just random stores. I just searched by 9s and 10s, right? What are people saying to give that rating? And I'll read off a few of them. The guys in here have great customer service, awesome rep, very helpful. Why did I give them that score? Because the people who work there are very good. The worker helped me so much and I was able to go home with a new phone. Very professional. The people were nice and respectful. It's great because it's a good store and they help me out. Every time I go in with any kind of problem with my phone, the gentleman who's there is an amazing young man and definitely want to give him a 10. You know, another one, it was fast because I was getting good treatment with the management and I liked them. Nice customer service, everything went well, right? So that's what you're going to get from your 9s and 10s. Now let's move on to kind of the bad, the 2s through 5s. Right, so those customers are going to be detractors. I'm not going 0s and 1s here yet on the ugly, but this is just your bad. So if you're not getting a high score and you're getting an average score, which I didn't do 6 or 7s, but just your 2 through 5s, average service, you know, the phone's good. I was forced to change my number after paying my bill 2 weeks ago. So this could be standard stuff. So if we explain what's going on and that these are charges that are across every Boost store, then we can help affect these. If you talk about the survey, you can help drive these results because sometimes the customers just don't get it. Overpriced, limited selections of phones. That could be inventory limitations. So not really a reason to get a bad score. If that rep said, hey, is there anything I could do to get a 9 or 10 for your experience here today? You're rating me and the service I gave you. That's the key. They're rating the service your rep gave them. So if they say, well, I don't like the selection of phones, you have a chance to overcome that objection, but you're having a conversation. Look at the next one, pleasant staff, but offer applied was modified from free phone to paid phone. So again, that could be an educational piece. Maybe the customer thought they saw free phone with a port in, but they had to pay for the phone because it wasn't necessarily a port in. Whatever that case may be, again, it's educating your customers, making sure that they know why they're getting the deals that they're getting in your store, and you're asking for that 9 or 10. I keep coming back to ask for that 9 or 10 because a lot of these things, when I'm reading kind of just the bads or your meh comments, you're able to fix. Now, I did not receive all the equipment to my device. You know, that's an issue. Slow service, that's an opportunity you need to maybe look at your staffing. And then another one, I've been with Boost over 5 years. I feel activation fees should be free if you upgrade to a new phone. So again, that's nothing in your control. So you explain that to your customer and you're gonna see these stores go up. Now the ugly, again, some of these are just educating. They charge me $110 for my government phone. Well, it's the service that's free, not your phone. If you educate your customers on the whys and you can overcome these objections, say, is there any reason why you couldn't give me a 9 or 10? Well, no, I wouldn't give you a 9 or 10 because I had to pay $100 for my phone. Well, just so you know that's standard. There's nothing to do with the service here today. That's the price of the phone. You can choose any phone in our store. You're always going to get new customer pricing. It's your service that's free. The 6 months to a year of free service. So knowing it's the same for you as every other customer that walks in your door. It's your service that's free, not the phone. We're not doing anything to take advantage of you. We're actually giving you the best service possible. After explaining that, would you be able to give me a 9 or a 10? You know, overcome that objection. Another one, they charge me $100 for a free government phone. It's just educating your customers. Because the guy who was working the location was totally rude, no manners, and was cussing me. Okay, then you have a customer issue. And I don't have any of the store details in here, but we have the store details, so you can see the store that sold it and the day they sold it, so you could go and address that rep who was working. You know, one person gave a 0 or 1 because I can. Well, some customers you can't do anything about. You're going to get those kind of people, unfortunately. Another one was because of the help in the store. Another one, the associate was working alone. He was obviously overwhelmed with calls and his personal attitude towards customer was tense. I wanted to snap a few times. So these are coachable behaviors. When I see ugly 0 to 1s, these are coachable opportunities where we can address the sales team and we can address the customers, make sure they're educated. Now, if you get a couple knuckleheads that no matter what you say are going to give you a 0 or 1, that's just part of sales. And as long as you're doing everything you can, and that's the key ask here to drive those numbers up, these scores will improve. So how can you improve your promoter score? Let's give you some real details here, right? Number one, get everyone involved. Make sure the whole company is aware of the net promoter score and why it's important. It's not just as an end to a mean for itself, basically. You want to make sure that the sales, the marketing team, the customer service, they can think of ways how to refine their communication with your customers and get them excited about this score and making it better. You want to find a connection with your customers. So if they're upset, empathy is the key, right? Customers are all human. They want to feel that brand resonates with them and their values. This is why I always say personalize it. Based on the service I gave you today, could you give me a 9 and 10 based on how I treated you in my store? If your company has a hard-hitting values or unique culture, think how you can show that off with your customers. Ask promoters for their opinions. So if they say, well, what could we do better? What could I have done to earn that 9 or 10? Well, you know what? Next time you come in here, I'm going to earn it. Thank you for your feedback. If I can fix it for you now, I'm going to fix it for you now. But I appreciate everything that you're telling me because we want to be the best store selling in the entire country. You want to promote customer advocacy. So those customers that are 9 or 10, we talked about those ones that are going to promote and push your brand. So you want to make sure that you're talking to those customers. Hey, can you give me a 9 or 10? And if you have any friends or family that want to take advantage of the service we have here, what we provide you, I know you have a lot of options for Boost, but come back here, ask for Adam, and I'm going to take care of your friends and family. Get those customers to be your advocate. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising. If they're out there promoting for your store, you're going to see these numbers really improve. Then also, speaking of improvement, improving your frontline communication. So when you see these lists of customer feedback come out, address it with your sales team, change the behaviors as they need to be changed, and continue to work to make these scores increase. If this is something that your store is focused on, you're going to see results really increase. If you're not focused on it and you don't care about it, then your scores are going to go down. And again, just like I just said, there's a lot of Boost stores out there, right? Make it where customers want to come back and go to your store and work with you as a specific employee. The score you guys get is a reflection of your stores. When your customers are finalizing that sale, make sure you inform them about the survey. You might get a text or call about the service you received in our store today. Would you be able to give me a 10 for the service that I gave you? If they say yes, great. Thank you so much. Please recommend us to one of your friends and family. We really appreciate you as being a Boost customer. If they say no, ask them what would prevent them from giving you a 10 and see if there's a way you can fix it before they walk out of your door. All right, I know we're a little bit over, so I'm going to try to wrap it up really quickly. So gaming, holidays are coming up. Make sure that no one is gaming you guys in your stores. Make sure you, best practices to make sure you're not getting gamed is a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 phone per person that walks out. Open the box, write the phone number on the outside of the box before the customer leaves and make a test call with the phone. If they're coming to switch to you, ask them how long their phone has been activated their previous provider. Be cautious of any customer walking with a piece of paper with a number on it to put in a Boost, as that could be someone trying to scam you. And when we get these holiday promotions coming out, we see this kind of ramp up in November and December. Lastly, contest time. So we have a contest right now for the Boost Transform Network. This is a huge priority for us. We're giving away a lot of great prizes. So any of you guys that are activating phones on the Boost Transform Network, we're doing weekly drawings. So we're now in week 2 of this 4-week contest. There's 3 stores that win every week. Your winning prizes can be anything from a Boost mug to a $350 Boost down jacket. Perfect for November. Now that we're getting into the colder weather, unless you live in Texas, you might not need that. You can give it to a friend or family, but perfect for you guys in these cold weather states. We have the $350 Boost down jackets. We have the $250 Boost down vests, and then also the Boost fleece jackets as well. So a lot of great winter gear. The rules on this is the device must be activated on the Boost Transform Network. Started October 22nd through November 18th to be eligible. You need a minimum of 5 BTN store activations to qualify and a minimum of 1 BTN activation in order for the sales associate to qualify for the store prize. So any questions on that, reach out to your Boost account manager. And oh, I had one last thing. Sorry, I forgot EBB tabs. If you have not ordered your EBB tablets, Alcatel Joy Tab 2 is out. This is only $10 for new EBB customers. This just started, right? So they're in inventory now. The SRP is $129. A new customer on EBB is $10. They get 35 gigs of high-speed data and 12 gigs of mobile hotspot. This is going to be huge for the holidays, you guys. If you got a kid, if they don't have an EBB already, $10 are going to get a tablet, 6 months to a year of free service, 35 gigs per month, and 12 gigs of mobile hotspot with it as well. So awesome, awesome product. $10 for a tablet. Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving. All the other holidays. So awesome stuff, guys. Want to make sure if you guys have not ordered those Alcatel Joy Tab 2s, order them today. All right. Any questions? All right, if there are no questions, I want to thank you guys so much for your time. Have a great week. Thanks for hopping on. I know the first is super busy, and I really appreciate you guys taking time to join this call. Thank you so much.